For that matter, what difference would it make if I lived? What really matters in this thing called life? And those frightening, soul-searching moments culminated in a decision to give my life to the two things on earth that really mattered to my Lord: my family and His family, my bride and kids, and His bride and kids, the local church. After all the smoke cleared, those were the only things that really counted, for eternity. When the long winds rustled the grass over my grave, only what I'd done for Christ and His kingdom would last. I had decided to follow Jesus Christ without reservation. He would call the signals for the rest of my life. I determined then and there to resign my regular Army commission and head for seminary and ministry. In my mind, it was a done deal. Or so I'd thought. But that day, standing at attention in the old man's office, I realized that simply making a decision in your head and actually severing old ties and moving in that new direction are two very different matters. I thought I'd already passed the fork in the road, but now I knew I was only just approaching it. Standing in front of my CO, there it was again, full in my face, a crossroads. Like a uniformed sorcerer, the colonel was spinning a future before my very eyes, a most appealing future. It was a little dazzling, actually. He had my head spinning. Now I had to decide if I was really committed to that new direction. Had I meant what I told the Lord at Doc Peck, or was it just one more foxhole conversion? Would God truly call the shots in my life? Choices, decisions, crossroads. You face them too. Every man does. Life is full of them. Every day and every hour is full of them. Options and alternatives, paths and decisions, lots of branching trails, each one encountering crossroads along the way. But the big one, the biggest fork in the road you'll ever come to, has a sign over it that reads, "Who will be my authority? Whom will I choose to follow?" Some crossroads are large and obvious. You can see them a mile away. Others are subtle and seem small. Sometimes you don't recognize them when they're staring you in the face, but years later, when you look back, you realize that one little choice on that single day determined the course of the rest of your life. Sometimes it's a slow, well-thought-out, careful decision-making process over the course of months. Sometimes it happens in a flash, like a single lethal moment in the heat of passion in the back seat of a car. Sometimes it's the same choice made over and over and over again. But boiled down, it's a decision, a commitment to a direction, a parting of the roads. And common to every crossroads, big or small, is that one overarching question: who will truly be the authority of my life, me or God? That choice at every fork in the road determines the road ahead for a long time, possibly forever. On that crossroads day in Vietnam, after months of processing in my soul, I stood in front of Iron Mike's enormous desk. And there's no denying it, the vision he was conjuring before my eyes was incredibly alluring. My heart pounded in my chest. I could feel the throb of it in my temples. Still, I was already pointed in another direction. I was planning on something called seminary, where for all I knew they made monks out of guys. A couple of weeks previously, I had resigned my commission as a career officer in the regular Army and made application to graduate school in the States. My feet were almost touching that new road, but there was Iron Mike, my all-powerful commanding officer, trying with all of his considerable persuasive abilities to turn me back, to set before me that other road I thought I'd already shunned. Others could do ministry, he told me, but I had the training, the ability, and the temperament to make significant strides in the military. The Army was looking for more than a few good men, he said, and from where he sat, the more obvious, more profitable, more honorable road for Captain Stu Weber would be to remain in my country's service. I must have groaned inside. This was tough. But the colonel wasn't finished yet. I hadn't been dismissed. He told me he'd received his orders for his first star. He was about to be promoted to brigadier general. He'd be in a strong position to influence my next assignment, even my entire career. The details he outlined were staggering to a young officer. He told me, among other things, that if I would retain my commission and stay in the service, he would personally see to it that my next assignment would be my choice. Any job, any location in the world that a captain could hold, including embassy duty or graduate school, and that I would have a career path that would delight any young officer. What would my decision be? Which voice would command my heart, the colonel's or the Creator's? About that time, I heard my own voice speaking. Ever been in a room and heard someone speaking and then realized it was your own voice? As though from across the room, I heard myself saying these words: "Sir, I cannot stay. I have orders from higher up. And though it may seem a bit corny, even imaginary to you, it's a very real headquarters. It is in reality the throne room of the universe. I believe the King himself has intentions for me. I believe he's actually guided me. I have clear direction in my soul. I've developed a sense of conviction from God. I must go this way. It's a matter of principle and faith and trust and obedience. Sir."